Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought we would do something a little different, a little fun. I saw a video Emily Noel did. If you don't know who Emily Noel is, she is a YouTuber. And she did a collaboration with Makeup Revolution, so a lot of you probably know who she is, but I will link her channel down below. And she got the video from another YouTuber called Samantha March. And I didn't know who Samantha was until I saw Emily's video, but I've quickly learned who Samantha is. I've binged some of her videos, and she's really knowledgeable, really great. And she started a tag, top 5, bottom 5, of brands that excite me and brands that don't. And I thought that it was such an interesting concept because it's definitely something that I think about all of the time. Obviously, I eat, sleep, breathe, dream about makeup. It consumes my every minute of every day because that's my job. But there are definitely brands that, like, you know, there are so many releases being put out all of the time. And there are certain brands that release products and I get super amped about them. And there are certain brands that release products and I'm just like, meh. Whatever. I mean, it looks cool, but like I'm not running out to buy it, you know? So I thought we would break down a top 5, bottom 5. I kind of just love the concept of top 5, bottom 5. If that's something that you guys would like to see periodically, let me know and we could do like different topics on it. But for today, I thought we would do it. I think Emily just kind of left it open and didn't do 5, but I am going to do 5. I'm going to do it Samantha's way. But I'm going to add something in there, which is my middle of the road hit and miss. So I'm going to do top 5, bottom 5, and then 5 that are sometimes, yes, I'm excited, and sometimes I'm not. So if you guys would like to hear what brands excite me and which ones don't, then keep on watching. Okay, for the first group, I thought that we'd just like keep it positive, and we'll start with the top 5. So if you guys are subscribers of mine and you watch my videos, then you already know who the first one's gonna be. And if you're new here, hi, I'm Jamie and I have an addiction to BH Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes. I am obsessed with BH Cosmetics. I keep looking at the monitor because my focus keeps going in and out and I don't know why, but I'm just trying to make sure that I am still in focus. I'm obsessed with BH Cosmetics. Ever since they released their GLAM Reflections collection, which was about 1.5 years ago now, or maybe 2 years actually, that was sort of the beginning of their, I don't know if rebrand is the right word, but they really just changed everything about how they were doing things. They changed packaging, they changed formulas, they just really decided that they were going to take their brand to the next level, and ever since then they really have. Now, I started out with BH shadows when they were really crappy, and once I kind of got more into makeup, I sort of left BH behind, you know, when I started to be able to afford to get more palettes and I started getting more PR and I was expanding sort of my horizons in makeup. So I kind of lost interest, and then once those GLAM Reflections palettes came out, it was like I fell in love all over again. It's like an ex-boyfriend came back and like we rekindled our romance, you know? Ever since then, BH has been cranking out launches at like a very steady pace. And I would say like probably in 2019, it's been like they're in overdrive. They have an endless supply of inspiration, ideas, launches. Everything is unique, everything is different, and everything is excellent. Like everything I try from them, I'm like, ooh, this is amazing. And what I love is that it's still so affordable. So for people who are just starting out, they don't have to settle and say like, well, I like BH Cosmetics because they're affordable, even though the product might not be the best. They can say, I like BH Cosmetics because they're affordable and their products are top notch. Like, I feel like some of their stuff is better than high end. You know, when it comes to the eyeshadow palettes especially, because I haven't dabbled in a ton of their complexion products or like things kind of outside of. I did actually do a swatch video on Instagram, on IGTV, of their cashmere cream lipsticks, which are great. But aside from that, most of my passion for them is the eyeshadows, and I just love them all. That Ultimate Matte 42 eyeshadow palette still reigns supreme in my world. I love it so, so much. So that is brand number 1. The second brand is also kind of obvious if you watch my videos, and that is Urban Decay. Urban Decay is probably one of my top favorite makeup brands ever. There's a couple reasons for that. First of all, I feel like they were one of the very first really well-known big brands to be cruelty-free. If I'm not mistaken, they've always been cruelty-free, but they're such a mainstream, like, big brand, and they were cruelty-free when no one else was. So, you know, while I'm not like a I only do cruelty-free type of person, because it's very difficult when you work in the beauty industry to, it's just difficult. I would prefer everybody to be cruelty-free. Please make no mistake. But it's very hard for me to say, like, I'm not going to test and try that brand because they're not cruelty-free, because for me, it's like alienating you guys who might, you know, love a brand like MAC. So I kind of can't, I find I struggle because cruelty-free is very important. But that aside, that's a whole nother video. I just love Urban Decay as a brand. I think Wendy is amazing. I think the reason that she got into makeup is a reason to get into makeup. Because she is, Urban Decay is pretty much her baby, I feel like she's kept her vision throughout the entire life of her company. Even though Urban Decay is now owned by L'Oreal, Wendy is still very much controlling everything that's happening in Urban Decay. And it's a labor of love for her, and it shows. I feel like there's just a lot of love, and you know, I got to go to the Urban Decay headquarters, and I got to see behind the scenes the staff, the offices, and the way that they just do things, and everyone there is just happy to be there because they treat their employees so well, and it's just a very family type of environment. I did have their global makeup artist Steve Casagigan on my podcast. If you guys didn't know that, I will leave a link in the description box down below if you guys are interested in checking that out. I interviewed him, and he is lovely. And one of the other things with Urban Decay is they're all about inclusivity. And they've sort of been like that weird, edgy brand that took risks, that named their products racy names, and just did things, they pushed the envelope, you know? And I love that about them. I just always felt like if there's any brand that gets me, it's them, you know? Like, I just like to play, and I just like to be glam, and I just like to have fun. And I just feel like it's okay to be who you want to be in the Urban Decay makeup world. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I just like the vibe. I just like their vibe. And, I mean, let's not forget that their products are awesome. Some of my holy grail products, the foundation I have on my face right now, which is the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation. It's waterproof. It's full coverage AF. And I love it. I love their eyeliners. I love their lipsticks. I collect both their eyeliners and their lipsticks. Like, I have a collection. I love them. I just love them. Of course, there are misses in all of the brands, like, that I love. There's going to be things that I'm not, like, over the moon about. Like, their Back Talk palette wasn't my favorite. There's been things that, you know, but you cannot expect to love a brand and love every single thing they put out. That's very unrealistic, you know? Okay, so the next brand that I get excited about is Huda Beauty. And I am not on her PR list, but I don't know what it is. Every time she puts something out, I'm like, ooh. I get, like, fired up. And I don't even have a ton of her stuff. Like, I have the foundation, which I was obsessed with when it came out, and I still love it. The only thing I don't like about it is the fragrance. I really wish that she would stop putting that old lady perfume in her products. I hate it so much. But her products are really, really good, I think. And I have her Desert Dusk palette that actually I was given by a friend. I had a dupe of it before that, though, and I just love it. I love that palette. Her vibe is just that warm, mauve-y, cranberry vibe. Like, all of her eyeshadow palettes have that sort of cranberry tone to them, and that's my jam. So all of her eyeshadow palettes are super intriguing to me, and the nude one is just, I want it so bad. I don't have it, but I want it. And I don't know, just everything she puts out, I'm just like super interested in. Her lipsticks, I'm like, ooh, I need to try those, and like, I just get excited, you know? I don't run out and get everything because I just can't, but I want to. The next brand I get excited about is Becca. They've had some misses from me lately, but as a whole, I love what Becca does. Like, I just think that they come out with the most beautiful complexion products. Their highlights are the best. I don't know, and I get excited about it. It's like I see their products and they're just aesthetically pleasing to me. I like them. I'm just like, ooh, yeah. The eyeshadows that they do don't really thrill me that much, but when it comes to highlights and skin products, like, I get fired up for Becca. Now they've had misses, like I said. I mean, they've had misses, but overall, when they release something, I'm like, ooh, what is this? Like that water hydro powder. That was so cool, and it was such a good product. I did a review on that maybe like a year ago, and I loved it. So, I don't know, I just really like Becca. I like them. The last brand in like my top 5 is ABH. ABH excites me. I don't know what. The palettes, it's the palettes. I am a certified eyeshadow palette addict. Like, I love eyeshadow palettes. I just do. Foundations and eyeshadow palettes. That's my jam. And with ABH, I just feel like eyeshadows are that's their thing. And ever since Modern Renaissance, it's like every time they put one out, I get fired up for it. Do I have them all? No. But I want to. I'm always interested. I'm always like, ooh, let me pay attention. Like, I want to see reviews on those products. I want to touch them. I want to see them. I want to try them. I want to buy them. You know, like, I just get excited. So now for the bottom 5. The first one that comes to mind, like, immediately is Smashbox. Smashbox has just never one time put out a product that I got excited about. Never. Not one. Ever. And I don't know, I think it's a packaging situation. It's just the presentation of the products. Like, I don't look at their products and go, oh, they're so beautiful and I just want to put them on my face. Like, I don't feel that way at all. In fact, I'm just like, meh. Like, I could go to the gondola and stare at it and just be like, I don't want to spend my money on this. I don't know why. I don't think that the quality is shitty. I've tried their products. I don't have an issue with them, but there's just no, like, lust. I don't feel lustful when I see them. I'm not like, ooh. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's just, they don't do it for me. If they rebranded their packaging or something, that could definitely change. I've had a few eyeshadow palettes from them, and I was just like, I like, decluttered them. I was just like, I don't even know why I have this. It just doesn't, I never reach for it. I'm not excited about it. They're not a bad brand. They don't excite me. The next one is Lorac. I couldn't be less excited. I don't know why, but they do nothing for me. I have had their eyeshadow palettes, and I don't like them. I don't like their formula. I think it's too powdery. It just doesn't work for me. I know some people love it. It just doesn't work for me, their eyeshadows, and I had one eyeshadow palette several years ago from them that I loved, and it was like an on-the-go palette, and it was awesome. It was like a lot of smoky tones, and it was just beautiful. But then when I started getting like the longer ones, like the Pro 1, 2, and 3, I think they were. No, I didn't like them. Here's a fun fact. If you guys do follow my podcast and you've ever seen the logo of my podcast, I actually took a Lorac, the number 3 palette, and I destroyed it. I pulled it apart and I smashed up the shadows and I arranged them on a surface, and I took the photos for that logo, and then I just changed the colors of the eyeshadows to colors of my logo. I created that all myself with Lorac because I was like, what palette can I destroy that I won't feel bad about? And it was that one. The third brand that I don't get jazzed about is NYX. I feel like the NYX products I like are very hit and miss. Like, I do like their micro brow pencil. There's a couple things that I like, but for the most part, I find them to be overpriced. I think, like, for a drugstore brand, they're always on the higher end, and I just don't think they deserve to be. Like, I think that there are other drugstore brands that are putting out products just as good as theirs and are not as expensive as them. Like Wet n Wild, like CoverGirl, like Maybelline, L'Oreal, you know? Like, L'Oreal can sometimes be pricey, but their products are better, you know? I don't know. NYX is okay for me, but, like, I'm not running out and buying their shit. And even when I'm in, like, Target or something, like, I'll look at their stuff, or when I'm in Ulta, I'm like, it's alright. But, like, I don't want to spend my money on it, you know? Another brand that doesn't excite me, number 4, is Bare Minerals. And I hate to say it, because they have one foundation. What is that foundation called? Bare Skin, maybe? Bare Skin? They put out a foundation about a year ago. And aside from the fact that the one that they sent me was very yellow, too yellow for me, it was gorgeous. They had like their Complexion Rescue. I loved that. That was kind of like it was like a tinted moisturizer, which is usually not my jam, but I actually did really like that one. And then they had like a Bare Skin Serum foundation that I really liked. They've had products that I like, but I don't get excited about them. When they release a product, I'm not like, ooh, I have to have it, you know? I don't know, it's just, they're just boring to me. They're just like, You know, they're not a bad brand by any means. They're a great brand. But we're not saying that any of these brands are bad. None of them are bad. It's just about me being excited. It's kind of like when you see a guy who's really hot and you're like super attracted to him, but then you see a guy who's like not as hot to you. He's like, you know, he's cute, but like I don't want to date him. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm talking about. Like, these brands are great, but I don't want to date them, you know? The last one is Buxom, and it's hard because I love the Buxom glosses. They're like some of my favorites. I think that they have one of the best lip gloss formulas on the market. But when they launched those like DIY eyeshadow palettes, they were great quality. The shadows were great, but it was something about the presentation and the packaging that just really didn't. I decluttered like 2 or 3 of them because I just never used them. I just was like, visually, I wasn't stimulated by them, you know? They were cute. They weren't hot, though, you know? Didn't want to date them. And then for the last category is my hit and misses. Like, sometimes I'm really excited, and sometimes I'm like, meh. So the first one is Maybelline. Now, Maybelline has some products that, for me, can't live without. The one that first comes to mind is the 24-Hour Superstay Foundation. It's one of my favorite foundations ever. Like, I love that foundation. I use it all of the time, and it never does me dirty. Like, it's so good. But I find with them, like, I try stuff, like, I didn't like their brow pencil. Their lip pencils dried out on me, like, just sitting in my, like, container, like, not even used. When I went to declutter when I moved, everything was dried out. Their eyeshadows are just not good. Their mascaras, some of their lip products are good, some of them are not. Like, they have some lipsticks that I have in my collection that are beautiful colors, but they just don't stay put, or like they slide off my face. Just, sometimes they'll put something out and I'm like, ooh, I have to try that immediately, and it's usually like their foundations. I think their strength is their foundations and their concealers. I like those, but when it comes to like eye products and lip products, I'm just like, meh. So if they're releasing a collection of lipsticks, I'm like, I just don't get excited, you know? The next one is IT Cosmetics, and I'm only saying that recently. Like, IT Cosmetics used to be like a holy grail brand for me, and they still are in a lot of ways. There are some products of theirs that I use all of the time, and as a whole, I love the brand. But I feel like they've been putting out some products that haven't really wowed me. Like, there are some that I'm just like, Like, the latest one is the Confidence in a Foundation. I still don't know how I feel about that one, and I've been nervous to go back to it because I don't ever know what's going to happen when I wear it. Like, sometimes I put it on and it looks amazing and I have a great experience, and sometimes it's a disaster. And I can only really put it on when I don't care what the outcome is, you know, if I'm like not going anywhere or whatever. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Definitely the complexion products are their strength. I don't love any of their eyeshadows. Their superhero liner and mascara is pretty good. But when they release a product, if it's a foundation, I'm getting excited. If it's an eyeshadow palette, I'm not. So it's hit and miss for me. Next one is Too Faced. So, Too Faced has some amazing products. Their Born This Way concealer, it's a fave, like a favorite. The foundation is, I have it, I like it, I use it every now and then. Is it one of my top 5? No, but it's good, I like it. I like their products, I think they're okay, they're good. Do I get excited about everything they do? No. Like they put out a palette recently and it was like some anniversary palette, and I just was like, it has like 5,000 shadows in it and they all look basic. Like they all look like light brown. You know, I don't know. Like sometimes they put stuff out and I'm just like, what is that? You know? Their chocolate bar palette, still to this day, I want it. And I don't have it. The chocolate gold one was gorgeous. I don't have that one either, but it's, you know, so pretty. Like some of this stuff, I'm like, ooh, I want to try that, and I get excited when I see it. But then some stuff, I'm just like, no. Fourth one is Morphe. Now Morphe has gotten kind of on my good side lately. Like I used to think like Morphe was the worst. Like I used to not like them at all. Like, I was like, I don't know what the hype is. Their shadows are patchy and dusty and shitty. I didn't even like the Jaclyn Hill palette. I know. Don't come for me. But I wanted to. I wanted to love it. And at first when I got it, I did. But, man, I struggled with that formula. I struggled with all of Morphe formulas until recently. And now I feel like their stuff is getting a lot better. Like, I just feel like their quality has really improved, both their brushes. I love their sponge. I have their 8W Warm Blush Palette. I've talked about it before. I love it. What else? Oh, my favorite Holy Grail eyeshadow brush of all time was in their All I Want Holiday Collection. Obsessed. I have a couple of eyeshadow palettes from them that I really like. So there's stuff that I like, and now I feel like they just did a release of like their bronze collection or whatever, and I was like, ooh, that stuff looks pretty, you know? So like I get jazzed about some of the stuff, and then some of the stuff I'm like, meh, you know? And lastly, I'm putting Tarte on this list. I haven't been excited about a Tarte product in a long time. I used to be so pumped for Tarte. Like, I used to really, really be into them. Now I'm just like, there are some products that I like their lipsticks, great. Some of their face products are great. I really want to try their poreless primer, the putty one. I forgot what it's called, but I really want to try that. The Tarteist liners are great. But I don't know, their eyeshadows are not calling to me. There's just like a lot that I'm just like, you know? There's some stuff I'm like, ooh, I definitely want to try that. But I just don't get fired up that much. Like sometimes, but like not always. Not more often than not. More not than, you know what I'm saying. So that is it for today's video. By no means am I bashing any of these brands. I have products from every single brand I mentioned and products that I really like and use. With the exception of Lorac. I don't have anything from Lorac and couldn't care less. But they're a good brand in their own right. I mean, there is a lipstick that I used to swear by. It was like a peach color. It was an Alter Ego, I want to say. Is that right? Alter Ego lipsticks, maybe? That were great. I think that they do some things well. It's just there's so much on the market now, especially with indie brands, that if you're not like blowing my mind, I just can't. It's just not enough time, you know? And then with like the Jeffree Stars and, you know, all of the influencer brands that are coming out and the indie brands that are putting out amazing stuff. Bodyography comes to mind. Their shit is amazing. I don't know, like there's just so much. And so I feel like right now, in order to get on my radar, you have to really be like catching my eye, like more often than not, you know? And so there are certain brands that are doing that and certain brands aren't. And I feel like it's very personal. Like some people might not give a rat's ass about eyeshadows, so maybe BH isn't really somebody, like a brand that's calling to them. But for me, I love eyeshadow palettes, so like I'm like, ooh, every time they put one out. Every week. And I'm like, ooh, I need it. So that is it for today's video. I hope you had fun. I hope you enjoyed this little tag video. It's kind of different for me, but I just thought it was fun. Something different, you know, just chit chat, whatever. Let me know what you guys think of my picks. Leave me a comment and let me know some of your top picks and some of your bottom picks. I'd be definitely interested to hear your thoughts on that, and if maybe some of your faves were in my bottoms. Listen, if there's products you think I should try that are awesome from any of the brands I said that don't interest me, let me know, because I'm always open to try. There's no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. I love makeup, period, you know? I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit the bell so you never miss when I upload a video. Follow me on social. My handle's @GlamLatte. And don't forget, the Glam Latte Beauty Podcast is on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, and CastBox. All those details are in the description box down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.
I just wanna hold you. I just wanna look into your eyes and tell you that I